Hi everyone. Yes, so I'm Hanna and I am based in Switzerland, in Geneva exactly. So it's well, the weather-wise, it's not the best place to be right now. It's really gray and raining, but overall, I think we had amazing, let's say, amazing lockdown, and it could be because there was not the real lockdown actually. So we were free to go out. We don't have to wear masks.
So tell us a bit, because you are health holistic coach, so you are an
Yes,
expert for the food, and people are
yes,
still not really aware how important is what you eat. You become, right? You are what
yes.
you eat. So
Yes,
especially
you are
now,
what you eat.
eh,
In a nutshell, kind of, yes. Food, yeah, food is like our, it's just such a foundation for everything. It's like wherever, whatever it happens to you, the first thing you need to change is food. Then you can start looking for other things. But food is the first kind of trigger, or there can be not even mentioning the food intolerances or other things or all the comical, because what I like to look is the food as the energy, and the energy, like we live in a vibrational universe and everything is energy, and food is energy as well, right? So if you know that the food can bring you have all those chemical compounds, all those healing properties that you can, every time you eat, you can absorb vitamins, nutrients, and to nourish truly your body, instead of eating dead food like processed, I don't know, dead processed food, pizza, or eating all other sorts of like chips, cookies, like all processed food basically. It's such dead, energetically dead food, but also full of additives, like really harmful chemical compounds or pesticides in the vegetables, that they actually negative, have a horrible negative impact on our health. And then people don't realize that what they eat, which is actually we're going to talk today, is how actually what we eat impact our mind. And it's
exactly. So please help me to share this word. You are better expert about this than me. I'm more like for different kind of bodies, because for people who doesn't know, we won't go so deep into this, but we have more of bodies. It's not just physical body, right? It's a mental body. It's so much to talk about. It's energetic body. So yeah, food affects almost all the bodies, right?
yes.
And yeah, now with this pandemic, I think it's so important as well to share what should we eat to boost our immune system. Because even if you get this corona, that I'm not gonna really give my opinion on that, if I even believe in that or no, but for all these kind of viruses, what is the most important is just to boost our immune system. So what would you say? What is the best food to eat to do that?
Well, the best food, not only to boost our immunity, but in general to be healthy, mentally healthy, or whatever, is to eat real and processed foods. So basically, foods that grow, that they rotten, not something you put in your cupboard and 1 year later is still good to eat. This is not a real food because it has packed so many compounds to it so that it can stay fresh for longer, but this is dead food. So whatever you can eat, it's basically fresh, local vegetables, seasonal, the best preference, and organic if possible. Or if you know, like a local farmer that can bring you from his garden, like I think this is even the best because he puts so much even more love and energy to produce, his product. So absolutely lots of veggies, good quality meat. I don't eat meat since I was born. Since I was born, I couldn't digest meat. I was like, want to throw up straight away. So I never eat red meat. Of course, then with my studies and knowledge, I learned why it was. So there are a few compounds. So for example, already my blood type indicates that I have very low stomach acid. So I don't have enough stomach acid. Acid is mostly to digest proteins, because meat is very kind of dense energy. So we need lots of enzymes and this acid to actually kind of burn it, if you want, just so we can push through and we can digest the meat. And so I had very low stomach acid, and as well, I am hypersensitive, so I can feel the suffering of animals. So I think that's why I think since I was born, of course, I wasn't aware I was sensitive, but I was instinctively, I couldn't bear animals. So this was, I think, another component why I don't eat meat. And then, of course, it's all about how it's packed with antibiotics, hormones, this horrible industry that basically, makes these animals suffer so badly that I wouldn't like to eat, the animal who went through all of this. I think once I had some meat at some point, and I just felt all this horrible energy inside of me, like I had an alien, and I'm like, oh my God, this is not for me
People are not
anymore.
actually thinking, yeah, about the energy, like I am not completely vegetarian, not even like vegan, so not even vegetarian. So I still eat meat from time to time, but I can just really see my mood, how it's changed, the energy, and of course, everything is the energy, what you consume. So
Yes.
people are not going really so deep how something is prepared before you get on the plate, right? It's same with the restaurants, right? When you go to the restaurants, the energy from people who are preparing the food, it's the energy that you eat and you become. People are not
Yeah.
thinking so far, right?
But I guess lots of people are not sensitive to energies. So I think for them, if they eat
Mm.
basically horrible, horrible quality meat or another, let's say energetically they don't feel the difference. But the difference is then it's in their health. Because if you eat really like the suffering animals, because when you kill the animal in those
Mm.
factories, they release lots of toxins into their bodies, and those toxins basically impacting all of your being, plus not mentioning hormones, antibiotics, and whatever they give, feed these animals actually, because they feed them with crappy food, but they can grow very quickly and make them fat very quickly, so they can kill them and sell them as soon as possible. So yeah, this is what it is, because if you eat all these horrible things impacting your body, right, impacting your gut, impacting all of the complex processes that keep our body healthy, right, the better food you eat, the better is your brain, because of the gut and brain axis. So
Yes. So today we will stay still on the basics, right? So let's go back, as you said, like local veggies. So for me, it was so important to start learning about the food and how it impacts your body when I got sick. And when I used to live in Dubai now for 5 years, and there you just cannot get like fresh veggies like you can do it here now in Europe, right? So we have so many people now joining us, I can see from Dubai and Abu Dhabi. So what would you recommend for people living there? What is the best still in the city like this that you can still eat and like stay the most healthy that you can in this kind of city? And it's actually there as well. We don't really cook, to be honest. We don't even have time to cook. It's really fast life, so you just grab something really quickly. And what would you recommend for these people there?
yes, so actually I've been in Dubai and I had no issues to find healthy options, and especially they have lots of hummus, so they can completely
I ate a
minimize
lot of
the
hummus, yes.
meat. Yes,
I love
so
it.
they can easily analyze the food, like meat intake, right? Because when it comes to meat, is the quality is everything. So I don't say to
Mm.
people don't eat ever meat or anything, but if because it depends of their body type, of their needs. Everybody is individual and everybody is different, and I do not impose my, let's say, not
Of
even
course.
beliefs, but let's say my way of being on others. So with respect with everybody, for example, they have blood type B or zero, they are like born eat meters. They cannot pass a day without it. But
Yeah.
they can always make changes, like slight changes. So I tell them eat more fish, right? So they have like healthier sort of meat, and maybe red meat just once a week. But you buy later, but go to like local butcher, like who who's sometimes you can have even those butchers who they basically farm their own cows or or other animals, and you can have a really good quality. So you can spend more, but it's only once a week. So it's totally offset all the crappy meat you would eat every day in buying in like supermarkets. Then you can buy just this one a week and make it even like celebration. You have this on Sunday as dinner, for example. So in people living in like hot countries, tropical countries, they have
Yeah.
lots of fruits. So they should totally eat fruits for breakfast. This is the best breakfast they can have, full of tropical fruit, full of vitamins, fresh, full of fiber. This is perfect. For lunch, they can have lots of hummus. So this is easily available in those countries on every corner. So you have basically complete protein, which is vegan, guilt, like cruelty free. And if they don't have such a variety of vegetables, depending on the season, right? Because in the winter, I know there is more than probably in the summer. But you can always find just eating even with some brown rice or with quinoa and adding whatever veggies you can have at this moment is already like a complete meal. And it doesn't have to be super like difficult meal. Like I eat very simple. Like I don't spend hours in the kitchen because first I don't like it, but I like eating healthy. So my food is very simple. I cook, for example, quinoa once in 3 days. So every day I have a base for my meals. And then whatever veggies I have, I just have quinoa. Whatever veggies I have can be hummus, maybe avocado. I am not vegan, so I eat eggs. I could have an egg as a protein. And I put always, and I always highlight this, very important, using extra virgin cold pressed oils, which are so important. And people, not just olive oil, because we need a variety of all the fatty acids, and sprinkle all my food abundantly with some good oil. And there you go. It took me 5-10 minutes.
That's the thing. So that's the thing now, like we are having so much information from everyone and it's just crazy. We don't know anymore what is good. For example, here I have my cappuccino, which I am drinking really rare, right? And it's with lactose-free milk. And I am intolerant, I have lactose intolerance. So what does that mean as well for all these people? Because it's like every day more and more people having this intolerance. What kind of milk is even good, for example? Because when you drink soya is not good. When you drink almond, when you drink coconut, so much information, so I don't know anymore what to drink, right? And sometimes, like, I don't drink it at all, like, for weeks. And then I have some different problems, and I need probiotics, and it's so many information that I don't know sometimes anymore what to consume to feel my best.
I know there is such a and a variety of information going, and I totally get you, because when I started looking into natural health, when I started having my digestive issues that were really horrible, like intolerances, candida, like lots of things, and I started looking for like a healthy or like nutritional, I was reading blogs, books, whatever, and every book had different method that was contrary to the other one.
Exactly.
And you had such a mess. It's like, what actually there? Where is the truth? And it was funny because for my gut issues, all the books were saying that only meat can cure me. And every book, the doctors, like the best doctors, all the books, only meat and only like bring really just eating meat with some veggies would kill you. And it's not true, because I healed on a plant-based diet, so it's very individual. So finally, when I went to my naturopathic school with nutrition as my specialization, then I learned that there is first no absolute truth, because we are still like discovering new things every day, right? They still there in text. But the most important thing, why there is such differences, because big companies, they're paying for all the tests to support whatever they want to sell. So if there is soy milk, they would invest to make research to make true that lactose-free milk is horrible, right?
Yes.
And then dairy industry would invest in other research that's going to prove that their milk is perfectly fine and there is lots of calcium and it's very healthy for your bones, for example. So that's why there is really so much contrary information. But once you study nutrition and you really go on in the anatomy and how everything works in your body, etc., then you know that it's all, of course, it has to be shaped to the individual, like to your environment, how you live, etc., blood type, and different kind of things. So there is no absolute truth. But then into your particular question, why we are like lactose intolerant and you should use this milk. So first of all, milk is for little cows. It's not made for human, right? So all the dairy products are not really like healthy in a way. I'm not saying to completely demonize them. I never had any cheese or or any yogurt. No, just saying that milk as milk is for baby cows, and we only tolerate it very well until we are 4. And after age of 4, the lactase, which is the enzyme that digests lactose, behaving inside less and less. For example, I think I became intolerant when I was maybe 26.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody has different measure, because intolerance can be, you know, 5%, and it's just growing, but one day you can maybe be 50 and you'll be like, oh, that's the day I can't handle that anymore. So everybody has different tolerance for the milk.
Mm-hmm.
I would use, and I only use mostly brown rice milk, because it's less sugary than the normal rice. It's vegan. I love the taste, so I use only brown rice
Mm-hmm.
milk.
That's the thing, guys. You just need to get used to some tastes as well, right? Like, again, we have so many researchers. How long do you need to get used to something? First, it was 3 weeks. Now they're already saying like 66 days. But let's say 3 weeks rule, right? If you're gonna drink like coffee without sugar and milk for 3 weeks, you cannot drink anymore with after, because your body gets used to it. That's why I said now really rare. I drink this because we have this coffee machine, so it's good to have this one from time to time. But otherwise,
Yeah.
drinking coffee without milk, without sugar. And I'm still like balancing everything, so I don't go to extreme ever. So that's why it's fine to take it from time to time.
Yes, this is like another thing. So going through the extreme is actually not natural for our mental health, right? Because your body
Mm.
gets used to something, and your mind as well. You have your own habits, and then you're switching from one day to another, and it's like kind of throwing you off balance, you know. So I always go through like getting less. Like maybe if I
Mm.
am, I don't know, the next day I wouldn't like skip
Mm.
one day, you know. Then just go one in 3 days, then one in a week, until you finally, because your body is like kind of a drug, because those substances like caffeine or alcohol or carbs or whatever, they all have substances that actually impact our parts of the brain responsible for pleasure and addiction. And that's
Yeah.
why it's so hard for us to separate them. Like somebody eats sugar every day and you tell them don't eat sugar, they're like, you know, they just crave the sugar even more, because
Even
their
worse
brain,
than, yeah, 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 yeah.
yes, their brain is addicted. They just need it. So in order to like kind of get rid of it, you go slowly. One day you
Mm.
skip, and then you can survive one day. And then your body slowly, like, you know, you remove these addiction substances one by one until it's completely out of your system. And the one day you wake up and like, I don't need to eat this sugar, this coffee, or smoke this cigarette, because it's already,
Mm.
you removed it.
I would even recommend, as I always do, as a life coach, for example, always have some book for the goals, whatever you need to have, and write down the goal. Why? As a kids, we already needed these confirmations in the end. Check, 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 done, done, done,
Yeah.
well done, right? So what you can do, guys, is you can do this for yourself, right? You just have some book that you like, and put down the goals. And it can be really random goal. It can just be, I'm not gonna drink coffee with sugar for a month. Okay, how I'm gonna do that? Put a plan. Okay, first I'm gonna do like 1 in 3 days, or I'm gonna put less, 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 less. Whatever you think that is the best for you. Because what I always say as well, don't listen to anyone. Take a bit of advices everywhere, but then listen to your gut, right? What is the best for you? So you write it down as a goal, and your mind will be so satisfied when you're gonna do this check in the end, and then the next day, and then third day, and then you can get addicted to this well done checks. Oh yes, I want that, I want that, I want that, right? So you can write it down, any goal that you have, or I'm not gonna have meat just for 3 days if you need to eat meat every day. Or I don't know, I'm not gonna have milk for 4 days. And you just write it down and do the challenge for yourself. We are made to love the challenges. So make a challenge for yourself, right? Because when someone else gives you the challenge, it's not the same. So then again, you feel
Yes.
forced to do that. So I would think that it's really important to do the challenges for yourself and to put in the end, why do I want that? Always ask yourself why. To feel better, to have more energy, to see if this really helps, or to prove Tanya and Hannah that this doesn't work. Whatever you need to do, do
Yes.
it. Do the challenge for yourself, right?